himself, Magnus. My friends, buckle up. This video will either completely confirm your decisions to play the London, or it's going to inspire you to give the London a try for the first time, or maybe come back to the London. What Magnus does to players of otherworldly level is simply sensational. This is a game that he played against Yu Yang, who is a top 3 Chinese grandmaster, at times number 2, number 3, with it's gotta be Fabi. D4, and there it is. And now Magnus, back then, he played this, and he played this a little bit. It's called a Jobava London. And you try to go knight b5, but then it just becomes a London where, you know, white put a knight on c3 instead of pawn on c3. Dude, this man just means it doesn't matter if he plays a positional London. It doesn't matter if it's move 5. G4, dude. This man just played g4, completely unashamed, and he went g5 too. Middle of the game. You know why he was able to play g4? Because black just played e6. Fabi was trying to play a little bit of a normal game. Magnus is the first one to step onto the New York City subway car and scream at the top of his lungs. And he's gonna generate a little bit of attention. That do be just how it works sometimes. G4, G5, and my man's acting like this is, he just goes back to playing normal chess. G4, G5, just, yeah. This is one of the ways to play a hyper-aggressive London. It just is. You play like this, and it's equal. I mean, at the very worst, it's just an equal position according to the computer. But humans are not computers. Humans have complex emotions. A3. A3 is played to prevent anything from going to B4 in the future. Fabi plays B5. Magnus plays H4. Just H4. You know the best part is? He plays H5. The king hasn't even castled in that direction. He hasn't even castled that way. Magnus knows that. He knows. This is a warning shot. Now black is not going to castle this way. Because if white plays bishop g2 and then castles, it's going to get real bad. It's going to get real ugly over here. So this is just kind of a warning shot. Fabi, if you're not careful, I'm gonna cook you like I just cooked Yu Yang in Gotham's video. 8 years into the future. Knight b6. I told you, if you win the battle for the center in these positions, it's gonna be real bad. Now the position is still very, very tense. Fabi jumps in here with the knight. Magnus chops the knight down. DC, this looks really good for Fabi, but like I said, even with best play, it's equal. It's just equal. It's a very tense position. Okay, Fabi's smart, he's not gonna castle. Or he's even gonna castle long, where he's obviously quite safe. These pawns make a nice little ridge. Kicks out his bishop. Magnus keeping the tension, keeping his options open. Queen g4, queen d2, 000 coming. Look at this. Poking and prodding, still equal, but very, very, very tense. Queen e2, and there is the red carpet for the 000s. The long castle is on the way, and then he's going to take, and he's going to start firing back. Fabi takes. E takes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, he's giving him the pawn. Not only is he giving the pawn, he sacrifices the bishop. That's just a free bishop, but you can't really take it. Because after this, king b8 or something, I have queen f7. You can't take the bishop because you're going to lose the rook. If king c8, I have rook d8, I can take the bishop. I mean, it's a very scary looking position over here for black. So Magnus builds up the tension, and Fabi, in the speed showdown, plays bishop e7, which unfortunately is a losing mistake. Fabi had some sort of idea here to take and probably fire back on the e-file, but he's simply out of time. Queen e7, king c8 back, HG, cold-blooded. This man Magnus leaving the king directly in the center of the board, because if you play rook e8, I end the game in swift fashion. I take the rook. You can't take my queen, and then I take the other rook, and my pawn walks through. Against all odds, it was the freaking H-pawn that just walked up the entire board. How did nobody see it sneak in past security? He must have been wearing a very, very good disguise. G8 queen would have been the fatal blow, but you don't even have to win like that. Knight takes d1, queen f8. And that's the end of the game. If you had taken the queen, I would have made a brand new one. This man can play positional. This man can play some absolutely ridiculous broken principle chess, and he's beating the best players in the world.